The number of measles cases here in the United States continues to rise. Today, the CDC said that there are now 764 confirmed cases. That is now 60 more than last week and the highest number in 25 years.
Now, this reignited the debate about vaccinations and whether religious exemptions should be allowed.
Now, that is also something that lawmakers are debating in Albany this week, and they could make a decision on it. Here's 2 on your sides, Kelly Dudzik.
This is a public health crisis. Measles can make people, children and adults, very, very ill, and we know that it kills people.
Erie County Commissioner of Health and pediatrician Dr. Gale Burstein supports ending the state's religious exemption for vaccination requirements. If the proposed bills become law, only medical exemptions would be granted, so people who are immunocompromised would be covered.
Parents would still have the right to refuse immunizations for themselves and their children. They just would not have the right to send their children to licensed child care centers or public schools. And so this is really an act to protect other children in those classrooms or in those child care centers.
With the number of measles cases exploding downstate, Burstein says as the summer travel season gets underway, she expects Erie County to see its first measles case of the year very soon. The lieutenant governor also supports getting rid of the religious exemption.
These children are exposing other children, particularly in schools. They're vulnerable. We have pregnant parents or mothers. We have kids under the age of 1 who are exposed because you don't even get the vaccination until they're 1. So there's a lot of fear out there, and we ask people to respect that there's a greater public good, and that's why we want to remove that exemption.
In the Niagara Falls City School District, 11 religious exemptions have been granted to 9 families. The superintendent thinks that right now the way the religious exemptions are written leaves them too open to interpretation.
It's just not worth putting kids at harm. So I lean towards eliminating the exemption altogether. But if there could be stringent enough rules written, I would support it.
Burstein says bottom line, vaccines are safe and effective at saving lives.
It's just really thinking about the rights of the larger population rather than an individual's personal choice.
California got rid of the religious exemption several years ago after a measles outbreak began at Disneyland, and this year that state has only seen 42 measles cases compared to more than 600 that we've had here in New York. Those bills are both being reviewed by their respective health committees in Albany. Kelly Dudzik, Channel 2 News.